Well, I guess I'm on now. So I want to say hello to everyone who's watching, and thanks for tuning in to our Spiritual Center Midweek Uplift. And I've got some other things to click here. My name is Buzz Noe, and I'm one of the practitioners at the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley. And we've been doing this for quite some time now, these midweek uplifts, just a way to talk to everyone who tunes in about some aspect of life that we feel will keep them more positive. That's why we call it the midweek uplift. Moving things around here. And so the subject and the title that I'm working on tonight is This is the Month of Love, because it's February and Valentine's Day is February 14th. And Valentine's Day is, of course, about love. Love, it's more of the romantic aspect of love. Love for your partner, love for your wife. Love between couples is what Valentine's Day has focused on and always been that way. But the idea of love came to mind because it's one of the things that our center focuses on is love. And one of the ideas that came to mind is, since we were coming into Valentine's Day, and of course I'll be expressing that love for my dear wife Lynn, which is the 40th year. In fact, as a matter of fact, Valentine's Day, we met 40 years ago, the day before Valentine's Day, and fell in love pretty much right away. And wow, that has stayed with us all this time. But romantic love is, of course, the thing that has been one of the aspects of the human condition for as long as there has been, because, of course, the man and women have to meet and mate in order to continue the evolution of the human species. But the idea of love has always come to mind as something that can be a lot more in our lives than just the idea of the romance. But I did a little, I've always said I like to be analytical about things that are going on in life rather than just accept them and take them for what they are. I like to kind of look into it. So I looked into Valentine's Day, and if you do any research on the Valentine's Day, I mean, it's a wonderful holiday that we love to celebrate with all of the good things that we bring each other on Valentine's Day and do the nice things for each other. But the idea that Valentine's Day was named after Saint Valentine made me look into the idea of what is that connection? Because Saint Valentine, of course, was around during the Roman Empire back in those days when Christians were kind of put down by some of the other people in Rome and things like that. And Saint Valentine, who was considered a very nice person and a Christian saint, I guess you would call him, was beheaded by the Romans on February 14th. And what was amazing is that he's apparently not the only Saint Valentine. There were two people named Valentine who were both apparently executed by the Romans on February 14th. But that was where the idea came around of Saint Valentine's Day was the date of the beheading, the execution of the Valentine, Saint Valentine, back many, 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 many years ago. And what I didn't quite see right away was the association of that and the romantic celebration that Valentine's Day has become over the past several hundred years, as far as I can tell. And that it goes back to Geoffrey Chaucer, who was a poet, a British poet, and he's the one that created that relationship between St. Valentine's Day and the romance that is love. So in looking into that, discovered that it's kind of just a coincidence, really, that we celebrate the love of our couples of men and women in marriage on St. Valentine's Day, just because of Geoffrey Chaucer. There was never really any initial association of that aspect of life with the circumstance of St. Valentine. But now that we have it, we can enjoy it. But that's what I started thinking about love, because we are in our human condition, love is one of the things that we can have in our minds, in our souls, in our heads, certainly in our hearts. And the idea that we celebrate love on St. Valentine's Day between couples is great. But I was thinking, well, we should really be celebrating love more often than not, all the times. So that, again, being analytical like I am, looked into the aspects of love as an expression, as a feeling, as a experience in our human situation, and what it can do for us in our human condition. And I came up with a really amazing list of things that expressing love will do for you in a positive manner. And this is just love for life itself, love for the aspects of life. And we'll talk about that because I've mentioned that before in these uplifts, the fact that you can, as a human, you can find things to be sad about, depressed about. You can find something to hate, or you can find a reason to love something instead. You always have that choice between love and hate and sadness and happiness. And that's one of the things that I felt was important about looking at love is how can it help us, not just in our emotional situation, but in our health. And I did some research, and it's pretty amazing. Here's some things where love will help you in your human condition. And I have a list of them here. I'm going to read a few of them. So first of all, people that are experiencing love, this one was pretty much about marriage and relationships between couples, but they found that people that are in that situation, as opposed to being alone or sad or depressed, have fewer doctor visits. So they're healthier, they're going to stay healthier in that situation. Love will keep you healthier than expressing other aspects of life that are going against love. This also, and this makes sense, this one came up, less depression and substance abuse. People that are experiencing love, expressing love, having that feeling in their hearts and in their minds and in their souls are going to have less depression, and that's going to lead to less substance abuse. You will drink less. You might celebrate by having a drink, but you'll not feel that you're going to need it as much as if you were sad and depressed and feeling down about life. So that's one of the things. And lower blood pressure, which is amazing. Now that's a physical aspect of our human situation. Blood pressure, which can go high and low. But happiness, and this again associated it with a happy marriage, but happiness in general will lower your blood pressure physically in your body. And if you are feeling love and expressing love towards life, you're going to be happier, and the result will be a lower blood pressure, which I think really is a good idea to keep that, stay healthy with that. Less anxiety, which makes sense. If you're loving something or some aspect of life, you're not going to be as anxious about it as if you didn't, or as if you were depressed or concerned or upset. So there again, less anxiety, which is also going to bring a better, healthier situation to you, will come about when you're feeling and expressing and experiencing love more than anything else, other aspects. This one was amazing. Natural pain control. Things will be less painful if you are expressing and experiencing love in your life. And that's, again, a physical aspect of our human situation that's going to be created and manifested by the emotional and the expression of love. Better stress management, which makes sense. That's compared to that. Fewer colds, people that are experiencing love in their lives. Again, this was associating with marriage and love between men and women, but love in itself, they've seen that people have had fewer colds in their lives from the same conditions as somebody else might get a cold if they are feeling lonely or depressed or sad about things in their life. Faster healing. Now, life goes on, and there's always things that could happen that would bring you into some aspect that, you cut your finger while you're cutting up meat. But those aspects of your physical self will heal faster when you are coming from an experience of love and expressing it. Something click up here on the screen. So once again, if you are experiencing love in your life, you're going to heal faster from things that might happen that can hurt you. So you can't really avoid that. And, no matter what you do, the door can always slam on your hand and hurt your hand. It's happened to me the other day. It hurt my finger, but it's healed faster because I experience and express love very often. And longer life. This was another one. People that are experiencing love in their lives, and again, associated with marriage between men and women, but love is an emotional aspect of ourselves that certainly is involved with the man and woman thing, but it's there for us to have and experience and express at any time. And if you are living your life focused on love as opposed to other aspects that you can look at, you're going to live a long life. If you're loving life, you're going to do these things that keep you healthier. You're going to probably exercise. You're going to do the things that you know will help your physical situation to go better, go longer, and do better. So you're going to live a longer life if you're focused and based in your life on love. And a happier life. Of course, that makes sense. If you're loving life, you're going to be happier about it than if you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're, oh, this thing keeps popping up here. If you're depressed about some aspect. And I've talked about this before. I mean, we have that choice. This is the thing that we always have to keep in mind. Life is going on as an absolute. What's happening right now in the universe is absolute. There's no changing it. There's no altering it. I mean, things will change, but there's nothing that you can do to alter the exact aspects of life right now. But we as humans have that option always to look at what's going on in life and experiencing it and expressing it as from love, loving life, or being upset, depressed, angry about life, and they're not loving life. And if we are experiencing life from a perspective of love, then you're going to be happier, you're going to be healthier, you're going to live longer, you're going to have faster healing for other aspects, and you're also going to be able to socialize together better. That's why you should always look for the reasons that you should love your neighbors as opposed to hating them and depressing them. And I've mentioned this thing, I always like to reference Yosemite National Park, which you go there, and it's hard to go there and not love nature. But if you were there a million years ago when that was being created, you would be hard pressed to love what was going on. But if you took the time to say, hey, what's going on now will create something that I will be able to love, I'll be in love with, then you would have been right. And that's the way things are in our life. You look at something that you feel is negative, that you don't like, you don't want, look for the aspects that might come out of that, which will give you something that you will like, something that you can love. I always like to reference a rainy day. Some people don't like a rainy day. Oh, it's raining. Oh, sad and depressed about the rain, because I like the sun myself, but there's rain. But rather than be focused on the depression and the sadness from the rain, look at the fact that that rain is going to bring forth that increase in nature. There'll be more flowers, there'll be more plants, there'll be more trees. Everything will be growing better in life and in nature, and that's stuff that you will love. So when it rains, you can find a way to love that rain because of what it's going to create for you in your life rather than what it's doing to you emotionally at that exact point in time, because that depression about the fact that it's raining or sadness that it's raining is going to take away those other aspects, take away your happiness, take away your longevity, your health, your healing ability. All those things are going to change to the downside if you don't find a reason, a way to love. And the same thing with people, with animals, with all the aspects of life. If you look at it from what it is that's going to be gaining something for you, for your life, for the people that you do love, then you'll be able to love what's going on in life as opposed to being depressed, being sad, being angry about it. And so that's essentially my message, that we have always as humans that choice between finding a reason to be sad, depressed, or angry, as opposed to finding a reason to be happy and be in love with life and what it's bringing us. And we always have that choice, And I suggest that you always look for what is going on as how it can create something that will be very good for you and thereby be something that you love as opposed to what you hate. And that love is going to move you forward. I always say in my treatments, I'm focused on love, kindness, and caring because I feel as I express that, those things will be coming back to me. And the same thing with love. As you express it, as you send it out from yourself emotionally and from internally, mentally, everywhere, it's going to be coming back to you much more readily than if you express those other negative aspects of life and how you're looking at them. So that's essentially my message for tonight. Live your life focused on love, and how things that are going on in life can be things that you love or will create things that you love, as opposed to those other aspects that bring you down and take away those positive aspects of life. And Valentine's Day is going to be a celebration of love for between men and women, but we can also use it to celebrate the love we have for each other as humans and for all the rest of life. So it's coming up in a couple of weeks. And I wanted to also remind you that we will have our Sunday lesson on Facebook Live, because we're still not meeting together live on at the center, but the practitioners and the ministers will gather there for a lovely message from Reverend Pam this Sunday. And the other thing I wanted to mention is starting up on the 12th of February, which is 2 days before the Valentine's Day celebration of love, there will be a wonderful workshop that's going to go on for 6 weeks. It's called The Ludus and the Lily, and it's focused on a book by, I forget her first name, the last name's Connor. What is it? Janet Connor. And the book focuses on the brilliance and the wisdom of the Buddha and also of Jesus, and how those things can bring forth in our lives what we desire to have, the fruition of what we desire. You'll be able to manifest what you desire. And so I really suggest signing up for this class, because that 6 weeks through that book is going to So that's essentially my lesson for tonight. And I'm going to leave you with love for everyone who is watching and for everyone who is out there. And I'm going to close with a treatment, and we'll have a wonderful Thursday night. So with that in mind, I'd like us all now to go within, where this is where we express and experience love within our minds and our lives. Go within and focus at this point on love in your life. And know along with me as I say these words in the first person, you can please make them your own. For I do know that right here and right now, this is a singular moment in the continuing evolution of time and space in the universe, and that everything that exists in this exact moment in time, it comes from one single source, and that source we refer to as God. One source that is God. And we can acknowledge and we can believe and we can know that the source that is God is creating life out of love for everything that exists in the universe. Love for all that is what creates the continuing evolution of life itself. And for each one of us that is here, we can thank God for being here and the connection with the oneness that is God, and the knowing that we are expressing through ourselves God as us. And so let's keep that expression of who we are, what we're doing, where we are, and what's going on to be focused on love. Add kindness, compassion, sharing, caring, giving as you can and when you can. And as you bring forth these aspects of life through yourself out into the universe, they will be coming back to you much more readily than through any other method. And knowing that these aspects of life are coming forth from me and coming back to me, I thank God for this awareness, for the infinite oneness that is God, that can create and manifest anything that we want to have at any time. And knowing that this is the case and that my life is focused on these aspects of love and life, I thank God for the awareness, the ability to have that connection. And I now send these words on to the infinite oneness that is God, knowing that with infinity, it's pretty easy to take care of the details while I continue to find ways to love my life. And in closing, I say, and so it is. And so it is. That is our Thursday uplift for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in and being here. And once again, we'll see you on Facebook Live on Sunday, and have a wonderful lesson for everyone there. So have a great Thursday night. Have a wonderful February, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Good night.